Do you know who Ernesto Fajardo is?
Well, you should. If you have already applied under the Startup Visa program to Canada or planning to, then you should know his name. He's the one person inside IRCC, the Canadian Immigration Department, that designed and created the Startup Visa program from scratch. That's right. Today we're going to cover the key factors for you as an existing or future potential applicant to the Canadian Startup Visa program. Good or bad, the truth needs to be told. If you're thinking about immigrating, at Ingwe, we break down the barriers between countries so you can study, work, and invest in Canada. We're licensed and we help applicants like yourself and your families. You should already know this if you're watching this video, but the Startup Visa program is for innovative, scalable businesses which have the potential to bring economic benefit to Canada. Don't mix it up with starting a business in Canada. The Startup Visa program is not for restaurants, real estate, warehousing, manufacturing, or professional services. Unless there is an innovation involved in those businesses, they would not qualify. The Startup Visa program allows new business concepts or innovations and existing businesses to apply to move to Canada. So that means it could be a brand new concept or an existing startup business. It's simple. Pitch to a designated organization such as an incubator, angel investor, or venture capital on the IRCC approved list. Receive a letter of support, apply for your PR and optional work permit, and run your business until IRCC makes a decision on your file. A lot of applicants think that incubators, angel investors, and venture capitals are free. They assume that there are no fees involved when you apply under this program. In certain cases, if the incubator or VCs or angel investor sees that you already have revenue and have excellent potential, they will issue a commitment certificate for your startup visa, but the investment won't be paid out until all group members become PR inside Canada. Most incubators have fees, and so do venture capital and angel investors. If you're in advanced stages of your startup with revenues and excellent business model with intellectual property, then it's possible that you give up small equity in your company for a letter of support. Or if you're not in this position, you would need to pay the designated organization specific fees. There are only very few rare incubators that don't want anything in return, and they're very picky. We're going to cover the key updates and indicators on what IRCC is looking for in these startup visa applicants. So if you're new to all of this, pay close attention. This is the truth and nothing but the truth. The processing times are still quite stable for the Startup Visa Canada program at 32 months based on the IRCC website. Here's what we know so far from IRCC based on discussions with our startup clients, lawyers, consultants, incubators, and venture capital. IRCC is not processing the applications in order. With the older applications submitted, we're seeing groups which submitted their PR in the summer of 2020 being reviewed now, with the letters being sent out asking how the co-founders came up with the business concept, details and documents regarding their registered startup business inside of Canada, how the co-founders know each other, progress report on their startup business, what regulatory and licensing requirements are needed to run their business successfully inside Canada, validation of their research on why this business is viable in Canada, and updated family and travel information for each co-founder, as well as updated financials. The letter can be a combination of these questions, and no one letter is going to be the same from IRCC. If you applied in 2022, then your PR will take at least 2.5 years to process right now. However, you can obviously enter the country with an average of about 6 months with a work permit under the Startup Visa program. Here's what else we know. IRCC does not like it when you have a full-time job somewhere else and not working on your startup business. So if you're employed full-time at another company not related to your startup in your home country and waiting for your PR to be approved, be aware. If somebody else is on the intellectual property application, besides the main co-founders and applicants of the startup visa program, IRCC will have lots of questions for you. They want to see full control over the IP and assets by the main members migrating to Canada under this program. This is a potential red flag for them. They want to see you working on the startup business and seeing real traction. Again, if you're just waiting around and paid for a letter of support and are doing nothing on your business, and you do not have a plan B for your PR, like a hybrid startup, for example, then you're in trouble. Unless you're good friends with Justin Trudeau, and if you were good friends with Justin Trudeau, you'd still probably be refused. We spoke with one of the incubators, which is pumping out a lot of letters of support. I'm not gonna name them or tell you where they are. And so far, they have 36 IRCC approved companies, either for PR or work permit under this program, which is 15% of the total number of startup groups which they have supported. Out of this number of 36, 21 groups landed with work permits and 15 groups landed with PR. Many groups, as you know, do not apply for work permits, which is why this figure is so low, and some are waiting for the work permits to be processed. We're seeing some members of the startup visa groups of other firms abandoning ship. So this means they're already in Canada with a work permit or maybe even a study permit, and either they or their spouse has a chance of converting to PR through another program. And they're taking this chance and withdrawing from the startup group. You know what this means. If they're an essential member, the entire group is by default cancelled and refused. If they are not an essential member, then it won't affect the group. If you're a single founder like our clients in the hybrid startup visa category, then you're safe. We expect this trend to continue in the next 12 to 18 months as processing times remain slow and applicants become frustrated. We did a video earlier this year on our YouTube channel predicting what could potentially happen to the startup visa program over the next 1 to 2 years. However, when speaking with other legal representatives very active in this field like we are, some are of the school of thought that the IRCC will scrap this program altogether and close it for good. This could happen in 1 year, sooner, or even later. This is just their personal opinion based on what's currently happening with this program. The simple truth is that if the IRCC doesn't have enough resources, manpower, and time to redesign and supervise this program, which seems to be the case right now, then they'll just shut it down. I still have hope that they will just make changes instead. But with the way IRCC is processing visitor visas, permanent residencies, study permits, and so on, I don't see much hope with all the delays and backlog going on. Remember, even if they hire thousands of new employees a year to process this backlog, which they're doing, these people need training. Don't forget the simple fact that you're dealing with the government here, not a private entity. The key word is slow. Another scenario is that they will just let this program run as it is until the next government election. Same processing speed, which means, again, slow. If you're in a startup group, you need to be paying attention, as you could be receiving a letter from IRCC any day requesting the information that I explained earlier in this video. You need to be proactive and not reactive to have a successful PR application for the Canadian Startup Visa Program. And if you haven't applied yet for the Startup Visa Program, consider this. There are a multitude of other programs available to apply which may be more transparent and have clear outcome for you. Other countries are welcoming too under the startup programs like the UK, Portugal, and Spain. And if you're a single founder, you can always apply under our hybrid startup program, which is very unique to Ingwe's immigration office, patent pending. You know what I say? Don't get stuck behind the processing queue. Instead, ride it with us. Use it to your advantage. Send us a message if you want to know how. Remember, folks, all this information I just presented is public knowledge. It's all out there. You just need to know how and where to find it. If you're thinking about immigrating to Canada through studies, work, startup visa, sponsorship, or any other business immigration, you're at the right place. I can guarantee only one point. You will know what to expect, the entire process clearly laid out for you, all the risks identified, and where we can provide 100% support to you as our client. No surprises, just results. Our team speaks over 8 languages and we help applicants from over 47 different countries during their Canadian immigration process. Click the link below this video and get a free assessment. And if you already know what you want and your timeline is clear and are ready, 100% serious applicants only, then you can also book a one-on-one session with me using the consultation in the description of this video as well. If you have questions, remember that we're here weekly, live schedule on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram every Thursday at 11 a.m. North America Eastern Standard Time, where we answer all of your Canadian immigration questions for free on the spot. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you next time. Take care.